They were Rome's finest, disciplined, deadly, unstoppable. But then, they vanished. These are Caesar's lost legions, and their fates are far stranger than you think. To understand how Rome could lose thousands of men without a trace, we start with the man who made legions famous, Caesar. In the 1st century BCE, legions were Rome's war machines, around 5,000 heavily armed citizens drilled to fight and die as one. They carved Rome's empire into the map from Gaul and Britain to Spain and the shoreline of the Black Sea. But for some legions, the story just stops. No glorious final battle, no triumphant return, just a line in a dusty list: Legio. Disappeared. Let's dive into the most infamous disappearance, the annihilation of 3 Roman legions in the mysterious Teutoburg forest. In 9 CE, Rome sent around 15,000 soldiers plus camp followers into the dense, rain-soaked woods of Germania. Their guide was a local chieftain, Arminius, raised in Rome, trained by Rome, secretly plotting against Rome. Over several brutal days, Germanic warriors ambushed the columns, shredding through them from the trees and swamps. When it ended, 3 enter legions, 17th, 18th, and 19th, were gone. So complete was the disaster that Rome never used those legion numbers again. The fates of these individual soldiers? Even worse than the statistics. Many were killed outright. Theirs? Sacrificed in grisly rituals, nailed to trees, or enslaved deep in the forests of northern Europe. Years later, Roman patrols stumbled upon human skulls, nailed to sacred groves, eerie reminders of the lost legions. But those men died in a known place, at a known time. Other legions? They simply vanished from the record, mysteriously, gone. Consider the 9th Legion, Legio 9 Hispana. USEAPO. AST, a turd. It was a powerhouse fighting in Caesar's campaigns in Gaul, then stationed in Britain to HO down the restless tribes. But wait, there's more to this story, ready to unfold. ARL's 2nd century, the 9th Legion just disappears from the British record. No epic final stand revealed, no official obituary carved in stone. Did they die, did they vanish, or did Rome quietly erase a disaster? On theory, the 9th marched north and was wiped out in some forgotten war in Scotland, their standards lost in the fog and peat. Another theory: they were transferred east, surviving for decades before being broken up or destroyed on some distant frontier. Modern evidence points to hints, whispers that bits of the 9th may still have lived on, far from Britain. Its trail goes cold. What happened? It's a mystery for the ages. And then there's the strangest story of all, the claim, believe it or not, that a lost Roman legion ended up in ancient China. The legend revolves around the survivors of Crassus's disastrous defeat at Kari in 53 BCE. Parthian horse archers rained down arrows, shredding Roman formations in the blood-stained sands of Mesopotamia. Thousands of Romans were killed, yet many were captured, alive, swallowed whole into the mysterious depths of the Parthian Empire as prisoners and as mercenaries. Some historians have suggested that decades later, a mysterious group of foreign soldiers fighting in a fish-scale formation in western China might have been their descendants. In the 20th century, a village in China called Lycaon became the center of rumors and intrigue. Why? Because it was said to be founded by lost Romans. Yes, you heard that right, lost Romans. Based on local legends and a few European-looking faces, this village holds a puzzling past. It's a captivating story. Roman legionaries marching 5,000 miles from Italy to the Great Wall. But hold on, DNA, evidence, and archaeology haven't backed it up yet. Most experts are convinced that the Roman village in China is more myth than reality. Still, the mystery lingers. Lost Latin commands, Ishin under Chinese skies, isn't that hard to shake? Even when we have a clue as to where a legion died, the human stories, they're often missing. Imagine this veterans deserted, melting into local populations, marrying locals, and raising half-Roman children on the edge of empire. A dramatic twist, right where you least expect it. Others were sold as slaves, thrust into a new life. They were forced to wield their military skills for foreign kings' leaders who barely knew the name Rome. A few switched sides willingly, becoming elite shock troops for the very enemies they'd once sworn to destroy. For every lost legion, there were thousands of individual fates, heroes, survivors, and ghosts vanished into the mysterious gaps of history. Why do these disappeared legions fascinate us so much? because Rome liked to pretend it was unstoppable, inevitable, eternal. Lost legions are cracks in that illusion, prove that even the greatest empire could lose, forget, and quietly cover its tracks. Behind every missing unit, number lies a story of fear and chaos, decisions forged in the heat of battle or in the shadowy halls of the Senate where panic and politics collide. Today, archaeologists dive into scraps of armor, abandoned forts, and lonely graves as they race to piece together these final mysterious chapters. EACH. Inscription. Every recovered spearhead. These are the faint heartbeats of a legion the world forgot. In the end, Caesar's lost legions didn't just vanish, they dissolved into other peoples, other worlds. Some died nameless in foreign mud. Some became legends. And most, they became nothing more than numbers crossed off a list. But when we look for them, when we trace their ghostly footprints, we remember that history isn't just emperors and dates. It's about the ordinary soldiers who marked off under Caesar's eagles and never came home. Ready for a thrilling deep dive into mystery? Choose your lost legion, the ill-fated nymph Hispana, or Teutoburg's vanished men. Pick your puzzle and let's uncover the truth together. The W***'s full of missing chapters, and some of the most riveting stories are the ones we're still digging to uncover.